Who
Why would he lie and say
cares? Who cares? Who cares? No one cares, you fucking idiot. This isn't gonna do anything. Like, you better hope that that's fucking true, man. If it's not true, you're all right. Let's go. Let's go to fucking KARL JOBST.
All right.
I've
Cool.
honestly seen
We did
enough
these
of
two,
Phil.
right?
Yeah, we
Let me
still
just
have to
remove
do
them
the,
so we remember for next time.
we still have to do the Mafia wage quit. Yeah, and we did the miscellaneous folder as well.
We're not watching the Mafia one? Aw.
Do you want to do the Mafia one?
I kind of did one. Chat.
I would like to do the Mafia one, but I also feel a little bit burned out.
You're a
on
bit
Phil.
burnt out. Okay, fair.
We
All
could
right.
go back. We could go back to it. We'll see.
Okay. Well, if you're
You wanna-
burned out from that, this is gonna fucking kill you, dudes. We're watching the
way,
edited version, right?
We do have Billy's response to KARL, which is pretty Kino, which really sums it all up. I lied for 4 years, scammed $200,000, went bankrupt, and lost every shred of credibility to my name. But at least I'm probably too much of a lazy, broke, and unethical scumbag to ever fully pay King Billy's million. I win. And then Billy also tweeted, I just saw this on the timeline rolling through, but it's not in the folder. He tweeted that KARL JOBST video today was a mistake.
Ooh!
Which it looks like KARL might get sued again by Billy because KARL went on the offensive against Billy's wife. And
Businesses, who owns what money is.
And it's like, buddy, don't you want to be done with this? Don't you want to move on with your life? I guess not. KARL's defense, I guess, is that he's so indigent, he's so poor now, that even if he gets sued and loses again, there's no money left to take.
Yeah.
Which is like, whoa, man.
Okay.
Like,
so two people were like, you guys are misrepresenting this KARL JOBST thing. And I'm like, we exaggerate, we gild the lily and stuff. But where in this situation did we gild the lily?
No, because what
Billy
KARL is saying is all that what we said. Like, Billy won.
Yeah, he confirms everything. In fact, you want to watch the full video?
Yeah, just pull up the full video.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Yeah, here, I'm going to open it up on the
actual.
actual.
Go through it.
Let me open it up on the actual. For higher quality.
Well, yeah, and they are going to garnish his wages for the next fucking like 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And has to go bankrupt. He had to sign over all of his properties to his wife. He had to sign over his business to his wife. And so if his wife chooses to leave him, he will actually have nothing. He's going to go through here how he only has $1,800 left in his checking account. And how even though he's lost everything and he's broke, somehow he won because Billy can't extract enough value from him to pay off the legal fees. And it's like, buddy, that's brutal.
Oh, man. You guys are exaggerating the situation. That Billy won?
Hello, you absolute legends. This is it. This is the end of an era.
Didn't it take him quite a while to intro a video like that?
Like,
after the
what,
judgment?
4 months?
It took him quite a while to get cocky enough to poke his head. Hello, you absolute legends.
No, but hear this, Ash.
Hello, you absolute legends.
He said legend.
Oh.
Hello, you absolute legends. This is it.
The only one fan left.
I love how he's saying this is his final time talking about Billy and the lawsuit. I'm pressing X to doubt, buddy. I have a feeling he's going to be coping about this for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
This is the end of an era. This is hopefully the last video I make concerning my lawsuit or even Billy Mitchell. When I made my previous video regarding the result of the lawsuit, I was still actively looking into appealing.
That's his That's not our thumbnail.
No, that's his thumbnail. He's a loser. He lost. But now he's going to tell us all how he won and he's the true king and Billy lost everything.
And I also couldn't take as much accountability as I really wanted to because it may have hurt my case. But ultimately, I did not end up appealing the decision. So everything is now final and I am able to comment.
When he promised everybody he was going to fight it to the bitter end and he was going to appeal and the judge ruled wrong in his opinion. But now he's just accepting the judgment because he went to an actual lawyer, and the actual lawyer told him that it would be legal malpractice to take the case because he's going to lose no matter what.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he just, never mind, guys. I fold. I lost. It's over.
Freely. In the last 2 months, a lot has been going on behind the scenes as a result of the decision. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything. Regardless of whether or not you care about the lawsuit or Billy Mitchell, there are important questions that I think supporters of me or this channel deserve to know. For example, does any of the money this channel earns go to Billy? Exactly how much money do I owe Billy? How much money will Billy actually get?
I love how these questions actually exist. You know, like he asks, goes, how much do I owe Billy? So he owes Billy something. He's like, what happens to money earned by this channel? Well, it will be used to pay Billy, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, how else are you going to pay back your debt, pal? What other source of income do you have?
Look at number 4. Will this cause more lawsuits? What?
Well, this video might cause more lawsuits because you can continue to attack Mr. Mitchell's character after getting your ass handed to him. You know, like, what are you doing?
And inspire even more lawsuits. These questions will be answered, and many more. There have been hundreds of videos made about me in the past few months.
Oh, there we are!
Thousands upon thousands.
Yes, we are!
KARL JOBST declares bankruptcy. Kino Casino clips. We made it.
How is this a fabrication? No, it's like they're like, you exaggerate, but he did go bankrupt. Like, what the?
Thousands of comments. Yet I haven't seen or heard a single
Let's get
person
some
talk
subs
about
for
what
that.
is really going on accurately, which is totally understandable because this is a very complex situation, and it is frankly impossible for anyone to know what is happening because you would need to be an expert in Australian
famous
law. You would need to know my exact financial position and what I own and how I
we
run
as in us, the chat, everyone here.
Business, and you would also need to be an expert on Australian bankruptcy law. Basically, you would need to be my lawyer, and I'm pretty sure most of you out there aren't.
Your
That's
lawyer
not your
lost.
Your lawyer.
How much of an expert could he be when he led you to absolute failure and bankruptcy, buddy?
But rather than having 100 videos speculating or even proclaiming things as fact that couldn't be further from the truth, I'm just going to lay everything out there. I know a lot of people are curious about what is happening, and I am more than happy to provide you with everything you would like to know, especially given that many people aren't happy with how I wasn't clear enough
Billy's
during
hair
the
is
lawsuit.
crazy.
So now
It is not.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like fucking like the hood that like Emperor Palpatine would wear, or like a Jedi would wear. I don't know.
I was thinking death. I was thinking death.
Yeah, like the Grim Reaper, like the hood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone will know everything.
To be fair, he is death to KARL. Let's be fucking. He did ruin KARL's life.
And then I am happy to move on forever. For the past 4 years, I have been in denial. Billy's lawsuit against
you have. He's admitted he's in denial. He's delusional. He's coping.
How are we exaggerating?
No, it's actually worse than what we've made it out to be honest. It's awful,
to me alleged.
Wait, you've been in denial for 4 years?
There's one thing that you have to keep in mind as we watch this entire video. Was it worth it to protect the honor of the Donkey Kong high score?
No.
Like, for real, was it worth it?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That I accused Billy of being a major contributing factor in Apollo Legends' decision to take his own life. And I have always
May I just say, because he has golden iMusic playing right now, I played it on the Switch store or whatever, you know, like the... doesn't hold up. And
Really?
GoldenEye? Doesn't hold up, bro.
Well, no, of course it doesn't fucking
It
hold
does
up.
not hold up at all.
that, both in my legal defense and publicly. I
Punisher 1993 is better,
that I used and argued that I never technically said that. And if anyone
guys.
did come away from my statements with the
I will say this. On the Switch controller, terrible. maybe on the 64 controller it's a lot better. 'Cause I remember it being a lot better on the 64 controller hardware than the Switch controller. It sucks.
It's been re-released a lot of times. I don't know. I feel like, somebody was saying that with mods, if you add mods to give it a more modern control scheme. But be real, like nostalgia is doing a lot of heavy lifting on this one.
It is, man. It is.
That Billy was in some way responsible, then it was their fault for adding meaning to my words that weren't there. I didn't want to believe I implied what the lawsuit accused me of implying for two main reasons.
Let's go.
Firstly, it would have been terrible for my defense if it were true, and the thought of losing the lawsuit was something I couldn't bear to deal with. And secondly, it's a disgusting and terrible thing to—
By the way, I just love how it was a thought he couldn't bear to live with. But now it is his living, breathing, waking reality every single day that he lost this case to Billy Mitchell, and he must now work to pay off his debt to Mr. Mitchell.
Imply, regardless of whether or not I believed what I said to be true at the time, which I did, and even if the facts I presented were correct, which was that Apollo had to pay a large sum of money in his settlement, which put him into debt, I still had no justification for making the connection between Billy and Apollo's suicide. Apollo never suggested it himself, and the evidence doesn't point to it. I held on to the belief that I did not make that claim all the way through the lawsuit, and even after the judge's verdict, which ruled that I did
But you did make the claim. It was on video. Okay.
That claim, I refused to accept it.
You refused to accept it? We saw the video.
You're delusional, buddy.
Come on.
Intending on appealing, and referred my case to a much more experienced and much more expensive lawyer for his opinion, and I fully expected him to confirm my belief and tell me that the judge was wrong. But he didn't. He told me that I did imply that, and it was defamatory. And in fact, he outright refused to appeal the decision even though I wanted to, because I simply had no case. Now that the lawsuit has been over for a couple of months, and I no longer have a vested interest in—
buddy. You had no fucking case. The lawyer took one fucking look at it. It's like, this isn't worth the fucking paper it's printed on. I wiped my ass with you, sir. Get the fuck out of my office. But what he had was he had some fucking lawyer that blew smoke up his ass for years and told him, oh no, Karl, you absolute legend, you're winning. Or maybe the guy tried to tell him, look, you don't have a case. But Karl kept being like, no, Billy's evil. We must beat him. And he persisted on and on and on and on. And even now, even after he's been destroyed, even after his appeal, like he knows it doesn't go anywhere, didn't pursue it, even now he's still trying to talk shit. Like, just take the L and move on. Honestly, he should have been throwing himself on the mercies of Billy Mitchell and trying to move past this. But he's still trying to fight this war. This is crazy.
Being correct.
It's at Andy Warski H. What up for the thing?
It has allowed me to finally accept that in this instance, Billy wasn't lying and his lawsuit against me was not unjustified. I defamed Billy. My act—
Oh! It's over! It's over! Dab on this bitch's grave! We're dancing on Karl's grave, bitch! He's had to admit he defamed him! He's defamatory! He's a fucking loser!
And that's why he won. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean that Billy didn't also lie a lot, even in court. And it doesn't mean I actually caused him hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages like the judges.
Though, like, Karl admits he's guilty of defamation and lying, and then goes after Billy for lying. It's like, buddy, you're already a fucking liar, and you've been proven in court to be a fucking liar. Like, who gives a shit if Billy lied? Billy fucking won the legal dispute, and now you owe him, bitch.
Billy lied.
Asserted. And it doesn't mean I didn't also have a valid defense that I could have possibly won on.
Isn't that more defamation, though, to accuse him of lying in court? You're basically saying the judge is a fucking idiot that let him get away with lying in court. But then it's like, then he's also, as Andy's bringing up here, he's doing the, like, this is how Hillary can still win. This is how Bernie can still win, bros. Guys, there was actually a way that Bernie could have won with the delegates. Let's get
Yeah,
into it.
definitely, right?
Stop. More weeks, guys, and Billy's going to be broke, I'm sure.
But just in principle, I was at fault. My actions were wrong, and to be quite honest, after the dust has settled, I now personally believe I should have lost the lawsuit. However, I still think the damages awarded were far, far too high.
Well, too bad.
Well, no,
so sad.
No, but in one breath, right, it's the damages were too high. In the other breath, though, as we're going to get into this, he's like, well, Mr. Mitchell's a loser because he'll never be able to recoup his costs from court. So obviously the judgment wasn't too high because Mr. Mitchell is still out of pocket, according to you, because you're an indigent fucking brokey bum. So what are we talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Cycle says, okay, that's the video. Stop recording now, you fucking retard. That's it.
Yeah, that's
I
all
lost.
You
It's over. I'll move on.
I now accept that I was wrong. Okay. And that's it. That's all this had to be. But then he goes on for another hour and 50 minutes.
And I was telling Ashton, I'm like, while I was editing, right? Now we're watching the full version, but I'm like, I don't even know what to edit out because it's like all just like, you'll see, folks. It makes no sense why we even make this video. Why would you make this video? Imagine, by the way, being sued, losing, and then reopening up the fucking can of worms with the guy who sued you.
Hopefully, this result can have a positive impact on the broader community by forcing people to think twice about making claims about things they aren't privy to or have very good evidence for. My channel and my investigative work improved dramatically after I got sued, and in the long run, it would have been a very worthwhile experience for me to have gone through. In saying that, I have allowed my feelings towards Billy negatively affect my judgment at every step of the way. I think Billy is a terrible person. I think he sues innocent people. I think he is a cheater.
But you're not innocent if you lost, you fucking retard.
Okay, but you gotta let this go, man. It's okay. Like, everybody already knows you think these things about Billy. Why do you have to keep going on and on and on about it?
Look,
it's a weird obsession. It's pathological.
Look, has Billy sued someone innocent? Like, maybe? But if he lost the judgment, then that's his loss. Not like it doesn't matter, right?
A compulsive liar, but that does not mean I can say and do whatever I want in response. Two wrongs don't make a right. Billy can lie all he wants, but I should—
Well, anyway, here's my hour and 50 minutes of me talking about Billy's business and wife.
Didn't let his actions affect my own moral compass. And once I realized I was wrong back in 2021, my retraction should have been far better. Again, at the time, I was in denial and I didn't want to believe my mistake was that severe. So I felt as though making a retraction at all was sufficient. And I really did want the video with the retraction in it to get a lot of views.
You do know Billy's fucking lawyers watching this video right now.
Oh yeah, like a hawk. It's like, why not just walk away? Why not just walk away?
This is not a good idea.
But it really should have been its own video, and not placed at the end of a separate video. I don't think all retractions need to be in a separate video, but considering the severity of my mistake, which I now acknowledge, in hindsight, it really should have been its own video. Even the retraction itself wasn't very good.
It's like you can either take the humiliation of retracting it, or you can take the humiliation of going to court and getting fucking raped and losing everything and now having to do like endless fucking retractions and dances for the fucking court. Had he just retracted this shit and shut the fuck up about Billy Mitchell, we would have never got to this point. And there were multiple points to probably de-escalate it and end it, but the guy wouldn't out of fucking pride. At bare minimum, if he had actually just shut the fuck up, probably nothing would have happened, but he just kept prodding it.
Yeah.
Either. I only apologized for making a factual error about the details of the settlement, and I just denied there were any further more serious implications. And I also took the opportunity to continue to criticize Billy while I was at it. In Billy's response video, he said that I was accusing him of murder, which is of course hyperbolic and ridiculous. So that also made me less inclined to make a proper retraction.
But is it though?
Which again is—
like, you're saying that he caused this guy's death through his actions. He's basically a murderer. I mean, it's not that he stabbed him with a fucking knife. But if he put in place the material conditions that led to the guy taking his own life, then you basically are saying he's a murderer and he's by being responsible for that, right?
Yep.
Wrong. Billy is always going to say stupid shit. It shouldn't affect my own actions. I made a mistake, I wronged Billy, so I should have owned up to it completely and with integrity. I also completely mishandled the way I communicated to the public.
Why are you making this video? I should have handled it with, some humility, and I should have been. Well, anyway, here's an hour and 50 me defaming fucking Billy.
Anyway, I'm not going to do that now. Okay.
What?
In regards to the lawsuit, obviously, I was intentionally choosing not to disclose what the lawsuit was about. I even said this multiple times.
Wait, did he just admit it?
That he just admitted that he intentionally refused to disclose what the lawsuit was about. So then you scammed every single person that gave you money for it. He just admitted he lied. And he's just casually glossing over that. You can't do that.
Oh, but we're exaggerating, Ashton. We're making things up. We're lying.
No, but to actually admit that means he's just as bad as completionist, if not worse. Oh, it really does.
I think he's worse. Sure.
No, I think it's worse because at least the money eventually went to some charities, whereas he collected this money under completely deceitful pretenses and used it for something it wasn't meant for.
Exactly. Completionist shouldn't have lied and said it was going to charity when he held it in a bank account, obviously. But at least the money was there to send it.
So it wasn't exactly a secret. Normally, I'd give you a full breakdown of this kind of thing, but because this one involves me, I'm going to keep my cards a lot closer to my chest. What I will tell you is that I am being sued for defamation, and the amount of damages being sought is $450,000. I will definitely be giving you updates as we go, but I don't want to give out too many details or strategies before I use them in court. Billy Mitchell is referring to the YouTuber Apollo Legend.
My God.
The Minecraft cult footage, someone said?
Yes, yes.
Who tragically took his own life in December of 2020. I won't go into specifics about this particular point because it does relate to his ongoing lawsuit against me. I didn't want to talk about it because what I said was wrong and I was afraid to repeat it. However, if I didn't want to make it clear to everyone exactly what the lawsuit was about, I shouldn't have turned it into this giant public spectacle. The truth.
Ding, 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 ding. You win. Yes. Answer. 1 year. Ganyar.
Like.
Yeah.
So it's just felt after felt after felt.
You're right.
Like,
you're right.
Listen, guys. Yeah, sure I lied. Sure I defamed the guy. Sure I scammed all of you for money and lied about the lawsuit was about. But this guy cheated at video games, guys, and he lied about it.
Truth is, I did want as many people to know about the lawsuit as possible because I legitimately thought I had a good chance of winning. I was not willing to concede on any issues whatsoever or entertain the opposite viewpoint. To put it bluntly, I was deluded. It's very easy to see this now.
And you still are. And you still are, buddy.
Did you say he's deluded?
He just admitted he's delusional. He's deluded. And then people are like, oh, this is vindicating for him. No, this is vindication for all of the critics of him. The only thing you can say, well, he took responsibility now. But even though he took responsibility, he's not changing his behavior. He's doubling down on it to continue to go after Billy Mitchell, which is stupid.
After the fact. However, it would be very difficult for many people to understand what it is like to be a defendant in a lawsuit, let alone one that was this complex. Again, just because I made
complex. You lied about something and you lost. That's not that complicated.
You couldn't provide any evidence for your claim. So it was like defamation per se. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
And he had the video.
Really I don't know. Let's continue.
Mistaking what I said originally, that doesn't mean Billy automatically wins. Defamation cases aren't that simple. I don't blame myself for fighting as hard as I did or believing that I would win, because I think that is a pretty natural tendency for most people to have in my position. But I had way too much hubris. I took a huge gamble and it backfired. Now I look like an idiot. The situation
You
was
are an
pretty
idiot.
crazy.
How? This is the most biggest self-help.
Where, guys? I'm just like, where is the vindication for Karl here? Like, where is the victory? I'm not seeing the victory, guys.
That's why the guy on Twitter, I'm like, did you watch Karl's video?
Though, and is definitely not something you can prepare for psychologically or emotionally until it happens. The entire lawsuit was extremely stressful, and I was trying to deal with it in the bravest way possible. Even though I thought I would win, that didn't make the ordeal any less stressful or tormenting, because you never know for sure what's going to happen.
Where does he pull the W in this? There is none.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
The W is that he kamikazed Billy, and that in litigation, the only one who really wins is the lawyers, and that somehow is like his W. But it's like, okay, bro.
That everyone lost money except for the lawyers.
I never personally lied about what the lawsuit was about, but I was obviously negligent in some way, given how many people had the wrong impression.
Yep.
My most egregious error was showing news articles about the lawsuit and a news clip which were incorrectly reporting on the lawsuit.
My mistake is I was showing you the wrong reason.
My mistake is I was showing reporters lying based on my lies. So
I thought it made for good content, and it was interesting to see what the news was saying. So
my lie.
that's why I wanted to show it. But I either shouldn't have shown what the news was saying at all,
or clarified.
I should have specifically clarified that it was incorrect if I did. And to be clear, I did not search out incorrect reporting to intentionally mislead people. Clearly, showing a clip and not correcting it is misleading.
So what we're supposed to believe, right, is he admits to intentionally misleading all of us about the purpose of the lawsuit and lying about what the money would be used for and what the lawsuit was about. But we can't believe that he would intentionally misrepresent this news article. Right. I feel like your credibility is already fucking shot, and you should probably just stop fucking talking, bro.
You know?
Appreciate how
I should have clarified the thing I was showing was a complete lie. Yeah, you should have.
It is now, but at the time there was simply no correct reporting on the lawsuit whatsoever. Everyone was reporting on it wrong. I wanted to show what the news was saying, but every single news...
But do you not understand that that's why he's been defamed, right? Is like these news articles are reporting incorrectly because of the things that you said, which led to other people reporting it incorrectly, which ultimately led to them defaming Mr. Mitchell.
And then you showed their lie based on your lie again without clarifying.
Idiot.
And you don't see how that was a mistake. Not even a mistake. Like it's intentional in my viewpoint.
Article or post about it was wrong. I wasn't trying to do something nefarious, it was just stupid and thoughtless, and I didn't give my audience enough consideration or respect to make sure they weren't confused.
Okay, ring it up, Al.
I am deeply sorry.
Al.
Now, let's talk about money.
Okay.
The total amount of damages plus interest in the judgment of the lawsuit was $390,000. In this video, I'm going to be using Australian dollars, but whenever I mention a figure,
oh no, buddy.
I will also place the amount in US dollars in the top right of the screen to make things easier for those in the US. The judgment isn't all that I would need to pay, however. In Australian courts, in almost all circumstances, the loser must pay the winner a percentage of their legal fees. Finding out exactly how much I would have needed to pay could have also been a lengthy and expensive process, which would have involved even more court hearings and more legal fees. So to make things easy, my lawyers reached out to Billy's lawyers to confirm how much they spent and how much they would be willing to accept. According to Billy's lawyers, he incurred costs of $686,000, and he would agree to a payment
for 48. I will say 448K USD to sue a poor person's kind of bad.
Well, it was to preserve his good name and reputation. But this is the thing is Karl like fucked around, ran his fucking mouth, and then found out in the end, right? Like
this is so much money. This is for a YouTube video. Fuck me.
Of $600,000 without the need for any further hearings. And I accepted this proposal, which meant that my total debt to Billy was $990,000. However,
$1
million, Mr. Jobst.
646 USD.
He's finished. He's felt it. He's like, but now you're absolute legends. Look at how I performed asset fraud in order to save myself. And he's gonna go through all of the ways that he's like tried to screw Billy out of paying him what he owes. Which to me, it's a wild thing to detail that because it's probably gonna come back up in court.
It did not hurt Billy to pay just to smack Karl in the mouth. No, I know. I know he had the money. Of course he had the money. It's fucking Billy Mitchell.
Have $990,000. In fact, I have no money. My total.
Oh,
there it is. He has no money.
He's like, look, guys,
no money. He's poor. He's broke. So, oh, see, guys, Billy Mitchell's a loser because he sued me and I have no money. So I'm just a broke poor bum. He lost then.
And if he ever makes money, he has to pay Billy immediately.
Yeah.
Legal fees were around the same as Billy's, and
this
while
is
the
clog logic.
public and especially Notch were very generous to me, I still had to spend at least $150,000 of my own money to cover them. And
you know Notch is going, why did I fucking do that?
By what Billy seems to believe, I am not rich. Therefore, because I could not cover the judgment debt, I filed for voluntary bankruptcy on the 9th of May.
Declared the bankruptcy. Entity that he's bankrupt!
So,
it's like bankruptcy doesn't save you from court collection. It doesn't. But his plan is to basically own nothing for the rest of his life. His wife will own everything and pay everything, and all the money will go to her, and he'll just be broke for the rest of his life. But it's like, listen, if your wife ever gets tired of that arrangement, you're absolutely f***ed, bro.
Yeah, this is crazy. It does save you? No. This Panda, a bankruptcy does not stop a judgment.
Bankruptcy can't stop a court judgment, and it can't stop collection of student loans. It's basically the two things it can't do.
Yeah, like literally.
The bankruptcy is called the trustee, and it's the job of the trustee to take possession of any assets or property they are legally allowed to possess and realize their value, which simply means they take what they are allowed to take and they sell it for money, which they can then give to creditors, with creditors being the people you owe money to. As part of the bankruptcy process, the trustee conducted a thorough investigation of my financial position. I had to give them all of my bank statements and company records going back over 4 years, which was well before I was...
Apparently, this is winning, right? To have a trustee up your ass, and you have to provide them all these fucking documents, and you have to dot your I's and cross your T's. But that's winning, right? Being under the cudgel of the trustee and the bankruptcy courts and all that. That's not winning. You're getting fucking felted, bro.
Even sued. The purpose of this investigation was to uncover any assets that they can possess and ensure that I haven't done anything dodgy. For example, to make sure I didn't secretly sell or give some property to a family member to hide it, or something similar. If I did do that, they'd be able to reverse that transaction, and if I lied about it to try and hide it, that would be committing a crime. On the 6th of June, the trustee issued a full report to my creditors, including Billy, outlining their findings and outlining how they have conducted the bankruptcy so far. So in this part of the video, I will be including screenshots directly from their report to confirm the...
I love how it says next to his name, the bankrupt. Like how we would call iDubbbz the raped or the mounted or the Karl David JOBST, the bankrupt. He's the bankrupt!
Legitimacy of what I'm saying.
That's actually really fucking funny.
My bankruptcy was a relatively simple
Karl
one.
bankrupt
Firstly,
why is he showing all of this shit? This is insane, bro. There's, by the way, there's the total cash he has in his account. $1,815. Holy buddy.
Bankrupt all the
Mrs. Wong, the bankrupt. The bankrupt and Mrs. Wong.
I was asked to provide statements for all of my bank accounts, which I did, but the
1,800. He won, guys.
The joint bank account had a total of 3,370 Australian dollary dues in it, all of which went to Mr. Mitchell.
Oh my! Wait, how did he have so little money?
Because he clearly committed fraud and put everything. As he's going to explain, but he didn't commit fraud. It's not actually fraud, but like spiritually, it feels to me like it is fraud. And I struggle to believe how he's going to get the away with this, but
Trustee even did their own independent search with all major banks. And
we know. Gun Ranger goes, that's less than what I make in one paycheck. Well, judging by your position on the leaderboard, buddy, we all believe you. You've given 3,042 fucking subs, bud.
Let's go. Gun Ranger.
Gun Ranger. Hi ho, pants away.
You're the best, bro. You're the best. Thank you.
Subs, then, bro. Let's see some subs tonight.
Yeah, thanks, man. You guys are awesome.
Oh,
that Fred Pill.
Cash I do have, I was allowed to keep for living expenses. And before I go on, some of you may be wondering how spouses are treated in bankruptcy. And in Australia, a spouse is not liable in any way, and anything my wife owns.
See, guys? I could just give her
totally okay to just give everything to his wife, and then we got the Gun Ranger for 10 subs.
Let's go.
Hands away.
Thank you.
I thought he meant to add a 0, though.
He said, "F you next time, bud."
Not be touched unless it's jointly owned between the two of us. Along with my wife, I own 2 properties. In 2015, we purchased a small townhouse valued at $350,000, and then after we
Why the f are you telling? It's like the opposite of what you should do online.
It's like, all right, guys, now we're going to open the checkbook, the bank accounts. He's basically doing the DSP, but voluntarily. I think, though, that all of this bankruptcy stuff is a matter of public record anyway. And
but to make a video.
I know, where you tell your whole audience all of it is kind of wild.
And your house, your income, how much your house was worth.
At a family, we upgraded to a larger family home valued at $1.2 million. Of course, this doesn't mean we paid that amount of money to own these properties. For our townhouse, we put down a $60,000 deposit.
He's telling us every down payment.
The rest was covered by a mortgage. By 2022, the value of the townhouse had gone up slightly, and thus we were able to remortgage the property and withdraw the extra equity to put a deposit down on our new house. And it was a 10% deposit. So while the house was worth $1.2 million, we only needed to raise just over $100,000 to buy it. As part of the bankruptcy investigation, a valuation was conducted on our properties. At the time I filed for bankruptcy, my townhouse had increased in value to $635,000, and my current house had risen in value to $1.35 million. The total value of the 2 properties being almost $2 million. However, the total amount of the mortgages equals $1.4 million. Therefore, the actual equity that we own in both properties.
Yeah, but there's like a good portion of what you owe Billy.
Yeah.
So just sell your fucking homes, pay him the $600,000. Honestly, that's like the offer. Be like, listen, Billy, like, I'm fucked. I'm going to sell both my homes. You're going to get the equity in both my homes. You're going to take a $300,000 haircut. Let's settle this whole thing right now. And then I'm going to go to work and rent for a few fucking years and build my shit back up. But instead, he chose to fucking go bankrupt and try and hide his assets with his wife.
is just under $600,000. In the event that someone goes bankrupt and they jointly own a property, the trustee will first allow the co-owner who is not bankrupt to purchase the bankrupt share. If you go to the Australian government website, it states where the co-owner is not bankrupt and the realization of the property will provide a return to the estate, the co-owner is to be invited in the first instance to make an offer to purchase the trustee's right, title, and interest. And the key wording here here is in the first instance, which means before anything else, which is exactly what happened. As per the trustee's report, it states, on appointment, Miss Wong put forward a without prejudice offer to purchase the trustee's interest in the properties, whereby inter alia, Miss Wong would pay the bankrupt estate an amount totaling $224,000. Based on the following, we accepted Miss Wong's offer. On the information at hand, Miss Wong had credible and likely perspective of establishing at least a 50% interest in the properties. And Miss Wong's
when
offer
was
made.
this?
Yeah, see, this happened after the judgment.
If it's after the judgment,
See, but I just don't know how this is legal. I guess in Australia this is legal, but it feels to me like this shouldn't be legal.
no, he's like, okay.
From externally sourced funding, which the trustees
way,
held no claim.
People are bringing this up. She wouldn't even take his last name. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's Mrs.
Is
Wong still. It's
No.
Miss Wong. It's not even Mrs. Wong. It's just Miss Wong.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
People are saying it's not legal.
Interest in. The offer was
Well, it
quite a
doesn't
bit
make
less than
sense.
No, this can't be legal.
the real value of my equity, because for the trustee to sell the
Look,
property.
if they did this before the lawsuit, it'd be like, all right, well, Billy's fucked. But like after
he
the
did.
lawsuit,
He did this after the lawsuit and after he declared bankruptcy. He then did this.
right?
Is on the open market, it would cost a lot of money. And those costs come out of the money they would have received from the realization of the property. This isn't paid for by the bankrupt themselves. They would first have to get a court order to sell it, pay for an agent, pay for marketing, and many other costs. And they took all of this into consideration and accepted the offer. On 29 May 2025, Miss Wong and the trustees executed a deed of settlement and release. There will be no further recoveries from this source. And the report confirms they did receive this money. So as of right now, my wife owns both.
Billy Mitchell took almost $250,000 of equity out of your homes, but he lost.
Yeah.
You're also bankrupt, and like I don't really get where the W is in the situation for Karl.
In Australia, transferring ownership of a house to a loved one to avoid creditors seizing it when facing a lawsuit is considered fraudulent transfer, particularly if bankruptcy follows. If bankruptcy occurs, a trustee can investigate such transfers.
The bankruptcy happened before
Yeah.
the sale. So it satisfied the trustee somehow, some way, which is surprising to me. I guess it is on the up and up.
Okay.
But I really, it feels to me like it's not.
All right.
Properties, and they can no longer be touched, which is of course fantastic news. If my wife couldn't source the funds to buy out my share, the trustee would have forced us to sell the properties, which would have been terrible. This idea of the joint owner being allowed to buy out the bankrupt share is basic Australian bankruptcy
Okay,
law.
look, if it's legal, okay, he figured it out. Okay.
But let's take a look at how this was
Still a
presented on
scam,
Reddit
though.
and YouTube.
Imagine Billy sues Mrs. Wong. Imagine Billy sues Mrs. Wong.
In my Discord, I was explaining that my wife will buy out my properties, and I had a very open conversation about it to a few people, and I thought nothing of it at
But
the
why
time.
are you telling
but the next
people
thing I
this
know,
in Discord? Like, nobody in your Discord should know about you selling your properties. Like, this is mental illness.
It's nuts.
my comments about my wife buying out my property were posted to Reddit, saying that I was
what did you
boasting
think
about
was gonna
moving
happen?
assets to my wife before declaring bankruptcy to avoid paying creditors, which of course is not what I said at all.
But that,
and
I
the
mean, that's
comments were all
basically,
claiming that
that's basically what you did, except that you moved the assets after you committed bankruptcy. That's what you did. I mean, it's straight up what you did.
I was bragging about committing fraud and that I'm a criminal. I'm surprised to learn how many Australian bankruptcy lawyers there are on r/YouTube drama. To be clear, the moment I went bankrupt, the trustee took possession of my share of the properties. My wife bought out my shares of the properties from the trustee. The money the trustee receives is then given to the people that I owe money to. On YouTube, things weren't any better. LUS is a channel that claims to be a lawyer, and just like Reddit, he was calling me a criminal because he doesn't understand basic Australian bankruptcy law.
KARL Jobst, on the other hand, we are going to talk. I saved the best statement for last because, in my opinion, if this is real, if he was sued, he lost, then he had his wife buy his equity in the home so he doesn't pay Billy Mitchell.
Fucking Elmer Fudd over here. I'm kidding. That's mean.
We are crossing the line of criminal
pesky wabbit
right now.
Sorry.
We need to send these to the bankruptcy court.
Wabbit.
We need to send this video to the bankruptcy court. I need to get in touch with the bankruptcy court and let them know what's going on. Because if this is real, and this is not sarcasm. There are many things like KARL said that he could end up.
This guy's a fucking sprig as fuck, bro.
Like, why the do people need to get involved in shit like this?
Oh,
and this is, by the way, I genuinely believe that part of the reason that Phil got away with this fucking bankruptcy was that Spurgs kept contacting like fucking judges and everybody involved with all sorts of Spurg evidence, and they were like, "This is fucking insane."
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna contact the Australian government. It's like, but just put the YouTube video in the bag, dude. Like,
in jail. Forget owing a bunch of money. What KARL was doing, trying to hide assets, is actually criminal.
Yeah, this is circus.
And his followers actually did report me to the Australian government. I know this because the bankruptcy trustee told me. But of course,
this is like this
okay.
is so stupid.
You now have the letter from the bankruptcy trustee. This is wild. It's just how Lace guys like, listen. We're going to crack open all of my financial files now, guys, and we're going to go through them all.
Can we see what you have on your tax return, bud? Can we see your receipts?
Of course, nothing happened because I didn't do anything wrong, man. And everything that I explained can be found in 2 seconds on the Australian government website. I would like to give these people the benefit of the doubt, though, and I don't think they were all acting in bad faith. When I covered The Completionist, I also recommended that people should report the charity to the relevant authorities. So I don't blame anyone for that. And it would be extremely hypocritical for me to chastise someone for reporting what they believe to be a crime. But of course, it does upset me to see so many people.
I know.
People believe misinformation, whether intentional or not, and to then use that misinformation to form such a terrible opinion.
Even if it is misinformation that he committed fraud, which I'm willing to accept that somehow by hook, by crook, by whatever, this was above board in Australia.
Sure.
It definitely feels like fraud.
Yeah,
you know,
it does feel like
it definitely, like, most people would consider this shady and some form of fraud, even though it technically is legal. It's like, bro, you're fucking scamming big time.
Well, then why ever pay a judgment ever in Australia?
Well,
why not just...
He's having to pay the judgment, but the thing is now Billy can't go after his house now, which was the main way to recover the judgment. So
well, now his wife just always pays for everything, so it's like he's fucked.
Well, he's okay as long as his wife stays with him, and as long as his wife is okay with handling all of the money from now on and doesn't ever get ideas that she's like, well, what if I just take everything? So he's really got to hope that it all works out. And as we know, statistically with marriages, it's about 50-50 as to whether they're going to fucking work out. And we imagine there's probably a lot of strain going on in this marriage as a result of this shit. So chances drastically go down.
Definitely.
Opinion of me. At least when I made my videos on The Completionist, they weren't just based on a few Discord messages. In my Completionist videos, I contacted the charity to get further confirmation. I checked all of the tax documents. I even reached out proactively to some ordinary gamers to work with him to make sure that I wouldn't make any errors that I might have made if I did everything myself.
What?
The idea
like,
of just looking at a Discord message.
Like, some ordinary gamers isn't even an engineer. Why would he have any sort of expertise as to how to do that properly? It doesn't make sense.
message, and thinking that says anything about reality is pretty ridiculous, and it's kind of shocking that people actually take these things seriously. The only other asset that the trustee took possession of is my share of the company that runs this YouTube channel. Most YouTubers of my size will create a company for their YouTube channel, so the money earned by this channel doesn't go to me directly. It goes to the company. So this
right. So now here's where this team really kicks into high gear, guys. Because Billy didn't sue the company, now he can't garnish any of the money from the company, you see?
Oh.
But now it's like, listen, Karl, the thing is, if you're making further defamatory statements in this video, he may choose to sue the company next time.
He's probably on it right now.
Get her away like the fucking cockroach you are and fucking move on with your life, man.
Of course he's gonna sue. Well, Billy is like tweeting about like it's over.
Answers the question of whether or not the money earned by this channel goes to Billy. No, it doesn't. Billy did not sue the company, nor does he have any ownership.
Let me see that.
Hey, Billy,
you see the LOL, the LOL that flashed up there? He's like, I've got him.
Billy did not sue the company, nor.
Buddy,
this is crazy.
Billy saw this frame. And he's like phoning his lawyer. He's texting his lawyer right now. Hey, bro, you want to make some more money?
Nor does he have any.
Billy has unlimited money somehow.
Yeah,
he's like he's like Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Yeah. No one knows how much money.
Businesses,
like he's got unlimited money.
Or interest in it. Billy can only take money from me as an individual, and only if I earn over a certain amount, which I will explain in a moment. The company was jointly owned by me and my wife, and as with my properties, with my wife being the co-owner, she was invited by the trustee to purchase my share. On the 24th of June, my wife made an offer to purchase my share for $2,000, and on the 6th of August, the trustee accepted her offer.
So the entire share of the whole company is worth $2,000. You see, because the way he set it up, the company never made a profit because all the money was paid out in wages. So the whole company, I mean, if it never turned a profit, is only worth $2,000. But like explaining all of this, like I feel like it's a really bad idea. Like I really do.
Well, you're basically giving Billy the next play.
Well, that's the thing is like if this lawfare continues, right? Now he's going to sue your wife who owns the company, and you're basically using your wife as a human shield for your liabilities.
You know, Billy has like, how many people has Billy sued? Like 4 or 5? Something like that, right?
At least.
Like Twin Galaxies. I feel okay. Might be wrong on that. So it's just, you know, I'm just saying. Now, Billy has lost a bunch of these lawsuits, right? Allegedly, in my opinion, I heard, right? The Twin Galaxy ones he lost. But he still continues to sue people. So do you think he's not going to even try to sue your company, even if he loses?
Well, that's the thing, right?
Because he doesn't care.
No,
he settled out of court. Okay, Billy settled the other ones out of court.
Yeah,
fair enough.
The Twin Galaxy thing was settled to the satisfaction of the parties. Okay.
There you go.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah. My point is, he'll sue you even if he thinks he'll lose to fuck you. You understand that?
So as of right now, my wife has total ownership of the company that owns this channel, so neither Billy nor the trustee has any claim over it or its earnings. And you might be wondering why she could buy my share so cheaply. It's because owning a share in a company doesn't really mean much if the company isn't making a profit. In order for a share to have any value to an owner, the company needs to make a profit so that it can pay a dividend. In the case of the company that runs this channel, it won't be making a profit for the foreseeable future.
You see this though? But it's like, he's like, you know, there's no way in the foreseeable future it's going to make a profit. Like, it seems to me like that's a foolish thing to admit in this situation.
Bring it up, KARL Dup.
This is because all earnings will be redistributed through wages and expenses. Therefore, buying the share would be a complete waste of money to any potential buyer, as the owner would see zero returns. The company has 2 employees, me and my wife. It's been that way since the company's inception in 2020. And for that entire time, we have both received an equal wage.
Yeah.
Instead of me just telling you what my wage was, I will read from the official report by the trustee, who again did a full investigation of my financial position over the past several years. The bankrupt has disclosed his interest in one ordinary share in KARL JOBST Gaming
The bankrupt.
Right.
The bankrupt.
Proprietary Limited. Records filed with ASIC verify the bankrupt holds 50% of the company's shares on issue. The bankrupt is a former director of the company and is employed by it. The company operates, inter alia, the YouTube channel KARL JOBST, established on the bankrupt's personal image. As noted in section 4.7 above, the bankrupt has disclosed a reduction of income from $150,000 to $80,000 on his bankrupt form and advised,
buddy. So now it goes from he makes $150,000 to $80,000 a year, so that way Billy can't garnish the excess wages.
This is attributable to the reduced cash flow of the company. Based on historical records, we initially deemed the bankrupt's estimated income pursuant to Section 139Y of the Act to be $150,000, and as such may be liable for income contributions totaling $14,000 for the first year of his bankruptcy. The bankrupt has disputed this, and we are further assessing the information provided. Here, the trustee looked at the last several years of personal income from the company and assessed my predicted income to be $150,000 per year. This is important because in Australian bankruptcy, for every dollar you earn over $120,000 per year, at least in my case because I have one dependent, 50 cents will go to the trustee to be given to creditors. So they can't touch any of my earnings up to approximately $120,000, and then beyond that, 50% would need to go to the trustee. This $150,000 per year salary was based on previous. However, as we all know, since the verdict, my channel has seen a large.
I find it really hard to believe that this is going to hold up, because what he's saying is he's basically set it all up this way to over his creditor so that he doesn't have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a movie
reduction in views. It seems at this moment I'm receiving about half the views I was before. Of course, I hope this improves and I will work hard to rebuild my channel, but that's where it stands as of right now. At these views, the company is not earning enough to pay 2 salaries of $150,000 plus expenses, so our salaries will be reduced. Certainly, they will be reduced to a level below the
KARL, but how is this a win for you? That now your company makes half as much money as it ever did before.
Well, because Billy didn't make the money.
On half as much money as you ever had before, but the money doesn't go to Billy Mitchell's pockets except like $250,000 did. But somehow you're winning. You're not winning.
Not to mention the growth of his channel has stopped. He's getting half the amount of views he used to get. And his reputation is in the fucking dirt.
The Gouted Gamer says he's still going to be on the hook for that cash forever. He's going to have to play these legal games forever. Well, apparently in 3 years, it's all wiped away and he doesn't owe anything, which I struggle to believe that that's the case, but apparently it is.
Okay.
Threshold where I would need to begin paying the trustee any money. In a nutshell, all of the money that this channel earns will go to company expenses and wages for my wife and I. None of the money this channel earns will go to the trustee or Billy. Australian bankruptcy lasts for 3 years. After 3 years, all of my debts are discharged, which basically means they are permanently erased.
So you can actually just every 3 years just declare bankruptcy like clockwork.
Yeah,
that's wild, man.
That's
Yes,
how in the world though are people supposed to actually enforce their debts then? Like you could just fucking lease an apartment, just not fucking pay.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways of people figure it out.
I really don't believe it's fucking that cut and dry. I don't know. Maybe this really is the 4-dimensional chess. I just don't think he should be actually like openly walking through the steps of how he scammed this. I just think to any normal person, it seems like a really bad move.
to Billy, as civil judgments and cost orders are considered provable debts and are discharged through bankruptcy. Aside from my properties and my share in the company, I don't have any other recoverable assets. I own a car, but it's only worth $20,000 and is jointly owned with my wife, so I'm allowed to keep it. Realistically, unless something drastically changes, the only money the trustees will get from me will be from my wife buying my properties, which again was $224,000. So out of that money, how much will Billy get? Well, first, we need to consider trustee remuneration, which is how much money the trustee pays themselves. Administering a bankruptcy is very expensive, and the estimated cost for my trustee to perform all of their duties is $50,000. This $50,000 is not paid for by me. It comes out of the money they collect. After this, we have to consider the fact that Billy is not the only person I owe money to. I had credit card debts and tax debt. These were normal debts.
Wait, he's in tax debt and credit card debt. So I guess he was just truly fucking broke, buddy. He owes Billy Mitchell a cool Milski. He owes the Australian Taxation Office 49 grand. He owes 12 grand on an American Express. He owes his own lawyers $14,000 he didn't fucking pay. And then he's got a CBA card for 10 grand. So in total, he owes $1,076,272.
Jesus.
He's a bum.
Wait, how did he not have taxes paid?
Is this fucking fraud, though? Like, did he just go crazy with his credit cards after he knew he was declaring bankruptcy?
Yeah, probably.
Like,
allegedly, in my opinion.
Here? Like, I have no idea, but this seems pretty fucking suspect that he has these big balances running on his fucking cards. And did he just decide he wasn't going to fucking pay his taxes that year? Like, what happened?
Probably.
Holy fuck, man. I didn't realize that you could just not pay the government and it all goes away in 3 years. Holy fuck.
That most people have, and they were debts that I was planning to pay at some point. But because Billy forced me into bankruptcy, all of my personal debts also fell into the bankruptcy, and they also became creditors. And these other creditors will take some of the money that the trustee receives as well. I don't...
So Billy's just been broke for this entire time? You'd think a million sub channel with like millions of views. Oh, he's fucking loaded, making money. No.
So Card Counterbalance goes, now I see the W. For him, the W is not giving all his money to Billy, just part of it. So he's broke and nothing is owned by him anymore either way. Yeah, that's basically the huge W here.
Yep.
I don't know the exact figure, but I would guess that Billy will receive somewhere around $150,000. And given that Billy incurred legal fees of $686,000, it means that despite winning, Billy still lost over $500,000. Now, I don't know if Billy personally cares about losing that money, but in my opinion, this is valuable information for the public to know.
Okay, so that's a W right there. That's his W.
No, but that's not a W. That's just Billy losing. Just because Billy lost doesn't mean that you won, Carl. Both of you are clearly financially worse off as a result of this. The difference is, though, it's like a mosquito bite on an elephant, what you've done to Billy, whereas Billy basically broke both your fucking kneecaps and left you in a wheelchair, pal. Is what happened.
So this is where the people are saying that we're coping, is that Billy lost $500,000, but Billy knew he was going to lose that money. Billy doesn't care. This is Billy's 7th or so lawsuit. Yeah, you think Billy's like, oh my God.
This is about clearing his name and humiliating you. But now I think we're going for round 2 with the way this video starts going. Because at this point, like, listen, he could just end the video here also and then just declare victory.
Yeah.
But then he has to go into a further expose of Billy, which is crazy.
Yep. We still got an hour and 30?
An hour and 30 minutes.
An hour and 25, yeah.
Are not a money-making exercise. In almost every case, unless you're suing...
He doesn't care about making money.
a huge company or suing someone you know is very rich, the only people who make money are the lawyers. When
Yeah,
Billy sued me back in 2021, my net worth was less than $100,000, and he sued me for $450,000. In Australia, you simply cannot get more than what someone has in a civil lawsuit.
Wow.
There was never, ever any potential universe that ever could have existed where Billy didn't lose a lot of money. The outcome that eventuated was basically his best case scenario.
Basically, what this guy is saying is that he can just slander and defame Billy with impunity because there's no means for him to collect any sort of damages from him.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, though. Like, it's, I don't really know if that's the way it should work.
Yeah.
And it was still very costly. With all of this said, I want to make it extremely clear that this outcome is not the result of me gaming the system. I did not want to go bankrupt, and I did what I could to avoid it. Before going bankrupt, I made an offer to Billy. I told him exactly what I owned, including the 2 properties and my share in the company. I told him what they were worth. I advised Billy that I could not pay the judgment, and thus I would be declaring bankruptcy. However,
and Billy still sued you anyway, meaning he didn't care. It wasn't about the money. That's what it means.
I first gave Billy the option to accept an immediate cash payment of $300,000 in order to release me from the judgment. Of course, that money wasn't coming from me. This was sourced from family members. This was a very generous offer.
Family members or the people from Patreon or whatever, GoFundMe?
You know, like, where did this money come from to give Billy a lump sum of $300,000?
Family members. Not the family. I mean, I don't know.
Billy accepted this offer. He would have received double the amount of money he will receive now through the bankruptcy process. And on top of that, because I would be avoiding bankruptcy, all of my personal debts would still need to have been paid, which total over $100,000. However, Billy chose not to accept this offer. So instead of me paying Billy $300,000 and retaining all of my personal debts of over $100,000, I was forced into bankruptcy.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If Billy had accepted that deal, KARL would be like, see, guys? He settled with me outside of court, so I won.
Yeah, so I won.
Billy wanted that, like, without any question that you were felt.
That he won. And also, I think he wanted KARL to declare bankruptcy and have to go through the shame of being a bankrupt and have to go through the process of that, right?
Exactly.
Where my wife bought my share of the properties for $224,000, of which Billy only gets $150,000, and all of my other personal debts are completely discharged in 3 years, along with my entire debt to Billy. Effectively, Billy rejecting my offer cost him $150,000 and saved my family $200,000, which just shows how good faith and generous my offer really was. On the topic of generous offers, I was the only party to ever make a formal settlement offer during the lawsuit. On the 23rd of May 2022, I offered to settle the lawsuit with the
But this is the thing, though. Had you actually just publicly came out and apologized to Billy and fucking been like, look, I fucked up, he probably would have just settled. Like, I don't know what to say.
Following terms. I pay Billy $3,000. I never repeat the statements he has a problem with, and we both walk away. Now, you might look at this offer and think that $3,000 is not a lot of money.
Wait.
Yeah, so your offer was, I give you $3,000. Right. Yeah, no, it's a totally good faith offer there by KARL.
But again, considering that Billy's best case scenario, if he kept suing me, was to lose $500,000, this offer was extremely generous. And if the lawsuit wasn't about money, what was it about? When Billy sued me,
it's to fucking shut your mouth. Like, what was it about? Honor,
I don't know.
principle?
You know, as a Waking Bear says, KARL is a fucking retard if he thinks he's walking away from this free and clear. There's no way. I don't care what culpies come up with in this video. There's simply no way that he's going to just, 3 years, everything's magically fine. And Now I go back to owning these properties and everything's totally good and my credit's totally fine. Like, I just don't believe that at all.
Bro, if you were okay, let's say he was fine. If you're in the free and clear from Billy, why make this video?
I know.
He's gonna antagonize Billy. Like, he's gonna go on the blood. Like, he won't stop now.
Had already removed that section of the video months prior. I had already made a retraction. If Billy wanted a better retraction or a better apology, he could have made his own settlement offer requesting it. I am certain that I would have gladly made a separate video with a better retraction and apology to prevent further litigation. But Billy never asked. The only thing Billy ever asked for was money, a thing that he was never, ever going to get. And now it does appear as though Billy is very unhappy with how things turned out. Initially, he seemed excited that I went bankrupt.
Yeah.
He even went out of his way to let the public know that it happened. This surprised me. I assumed Billy would want to keep this a secret for as long as possible, because by its definition, the fact that I went...
He won and forced you to declare bankruptcy. It's a huge optical win for Billy. Like, even if technically in the muck and mire of things, you might have come out ahead by this is a clear victory in the eyes of the public that Billy broke you and made you go fucking bankrupt, bro.
And by the way, no one was like, oh, Billy's going to make a profit off. No one, like, it was about who wins what. You know what I mean? And he's a fucking millionaire, bro.
Bankrupt.
But here's the thing.
$300K would change anything?
If it went the other way, right, and KARL won the lawsuit and Billy wasn't able to pay him the judgment or the fees, and so KARL technically lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, would KARL still be singing the same tune that Billy actually won because he was out hundreds of thousands of dollars? No.
See, guys, he's actually broke and he's not able to pay me, and like that's
and this is the thing is, and KARL said, I'm not going to be a good winner, I'm going to be a bad winner, and I'm going to rub your face in it every chance I get. So then for Billy to do that to him, like, it's turnabout is fair play.
Yep, exactly.
Confirms I don't have the money to pay him. And I was under the impression he would want the world to continue to believe he had just made a ton of money. Billy even tweeted a picture of himself in front of a vacationer motorhome, claiming that the equity from my house will pay for it. He
but it did.
So happy here. A new vacationer costs...
But that is about the amount of money that went from your equity to him. I guess there's minus fees or whatever, but it's pretty similar there, KARL.
The semantics, though, it's obviously Billy rubbing it in.
Yeah.
It's obviously that.
$250,000 USD. That is around 2.5 times the amount of money he is getting from me. At least my equity will be able to cover the deposit. That's something, I guess. Personally, I don't think spending $700,000 suing me just to get $150,000 back was a smart way to get enough money to buy a new motorhome. But I truly hope Billy buys it, and I'm looking forward to seeing him drive it soon. I don't know if Billy tweeted this because he wants to fool the public into believing he didn't just lose $500,000, or if he genuinely believed he was going to get his money back. But I'm inclined to think it might actually be the second. Because a few days later...
But KARL, didn't you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars? Like, I just don't see how Billy also losing money means that you win. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Let me check out...
Later, Billy tweeted this. This tweet is fascinating for multiple reasons, and despite being only 2 sentences long, it tells us so much about how
KARL JOBST lost 10K subs in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing well. But Billy saying this, like, I kind of believe Billy. Like, because the way that KARL just walked us through that, I find it very hard to believe that all of that was above board and that he's not going to face any consequences whatsoever for this judgment. Like, I just don't believe that.
Ash, look at this. Look.
It's not looking good.
Oh, man. Ooh. Oh, dude, bro. What happened? Well, your reputation's in the fucking gutter. How do you feel about that? How does that make you
How
feel,
ignorant
bitch?
Billy is. Clearly, Billy is upset with how things are going. So upset that he wants to go crying back to the court. This tells me that Billy really does care about the money he thought he was going to get, though I'm not sure why he is so upset now. Things are going exactly as we told him things would go over 2 months ago when we told him I would be going bankrupt. Maybe Billy's lawyer didn't properly inform him of what bankruptcy means. Billy claims I've engaged in serious illegal activity before and during the bankruptcy process, and I'm very curious to know what he is referring to. Remember, people on Reddit and YouTube are claiming I was a criminal because my wife purchased my share of the house. So maybe Billy has been believing too many Reddit comments or watching too many LUS videos. In any case, it's evident from this tweet that Billy still hasn't even bothered to learn what bankruptcy entails, because the notion that he could take me back to court is a hilarious one. One of the main benefits
I love, by the way, like the smugness of Karl. Like, he's really high on his own supply here, and like he really believes that he's won it. Like, it's actually insane. And he talks about, well, Billy won't be able to sue him again, but in about 10-15 minutes you're going to make statements about Billy that he's probably going to say are defamatory, and he's probably going to file another lawsuit against you regardless of whether it has merit or not, bro.
Going bankrupt is that it protects you against further legal action from creditors. Billy cannot take me back to court, no matter how much he wants to, at least in relation to the current debt. He can sue me for something completely unrelated, but when it comes to any money I currently owe him, he can't do anything. There are certain situations where a creditor can sue a bankrupt person, but none of those apply here. Again, I don't know if Billy is just ignorant himself, or if he is just relying on the public being ignorant to buy into his antics. However, just to be sure, I emailed the trustee to confirm if I had done anything illegal. They responded confirming they have no idea what Billy is talking about, though they did contact Billy's lawyer to ask what he was referring to, because, as they say, they have a legal duty to investigate all alleged misconduct. Billy was apparently very upset by this, because several days later, he tweeted a cartoon depiction of himself hanging me to death.
See? He does want people to die, so I'm not wrong. Like,
oh
it's not
man,
get you out of
that's
this
fucking
one.
Kino, buddy.
Get you out of this
Holy
one, dude.
shit.
Apparently, I was complaining about his
I have
tweet.
to use the bathroom. I'll just hit play.
Yeah, just hit play for now.
Because now he's gonna ramble for a while.
Aside from the fact I wasn't even complaining, I was merely double checking if the trustee had any idea what Billy was rambling on about. I don't understand why Billy would be upset with the trustee wanting to investigate this supposed illegal activity. You would think Billy would be happy the trustee was reaching out so that Billy could inform them of all of the ways I was engaging in serious illegal activity. One possible reason that Billy was so enraged is because he knows that every time the trustee has to investigate some bogus report of illegal activity, they charge it to the bankrupt estate, which means Billy ends up getting less money. And they charge a lot. They already spent over $20,000 investigating my affairs for the first time. Does Billy want to spend $20,000 doing it again? In any case, consider this. Billy won the lawsuit. He won, I lost. Since the verdict, there has been a huge smear campaign launched against me, with many people, including Billy, trying to do as much damage to my brand as possible. And it's been very effective. I even had to go bankrupt. But that's still not good enough for Billy. Despite all of this, he is still fantasizing about my death. This isn't the first time Billy has jerked off to the idea of a YouTuber's death either. Back in 2018, he had heard from his wife that Apollo Legend had died. This was shortly after Apollo made his video exposing Billy's cheating.
Why are you doing this?
Was overjoyed. So much so that he messaged his friends, saying that he would try his hardest not to smile or giggle, and even going further, saying that he hoped it was true. This is one of the reasons we felt as though Billy shouldn't win the lawsuit. Because it doesn't make sense that Billy could express so much joy over the thought of Apollo's death, and to then have any ground to...
Sorry, I was just thinking something.
No, but he's fucking talking about Apollo Legend and Billy again. Like, why are you doing this, man? Why?
Actually,
What?
he did laugh at someone's death. You know the lawsuit I just lost? Are you insane? Ring the bell. That's a
I just
bellable
don't
offense.
get it. Like, even if the claims that he's making are true, like, it's such bad form to go in on this again. Like,
stand on when he actually died. During trial, Billy acted as if he was so remorseful and so regretful that he sent those messages.
If it's true, I will not shed a tear. I will try not to smile or giggle. No promises.
Correct, that's what it says.
And you maintain...
Why are you showing audio from the court case that you lost?
I don't know. This is somehow his big W. There's like shreds of W. Like he's picking the W's out of a giant hump of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, there are diamonds and flecks of gold in this giant hunk of shit that's me losing this lawsuit. Look here, guys.
He has to Windex it. Like,
Here's a gem, guys. By the way, you got Ghost of Linda Burnell for 5
subs.
That is you not believing.
Look, I know it's in bad form and bad taste anyway, but why shouldn't Billy not like laugh at someone who dies they hate?
There's no crime in laughing at someone's death.
Exactly.
His poor taste, you know,
Yes.
maybe, but yeah.
He's actually dead.
I didn't believe he was dead for a second.
Why on earth would you say if it is true?
That was dark humor, and I regret it very much.
If it is true,
It
the
sounds
reference
like
if
he
it is
does.
True is dark humor.
Yes, it's dark humor. I regret doing it.
It sounds like he does regret it.
Yeah.
He sounds
Yes, I
authentic.
really regret doing it because it was true 3 years later.
Yeah.
I certainly...
Yeah. Look, at
Yeah.
the time, he was like, yeah, him, he's dead, ha ha ha. And then he died and he went, oh shit. He was actually suicidal. That's up. You know? The end.
He didn't make a joke then.
Were you thinking about how his parents would feel if you were joking about his death back then?
No, because I didn't believe he had died. From an anonymous post on Reddit, I didn't believe it.
So
there you go.
You went and texted
They were being
two
biased right
people
now.
about it because you didn't believe it.
Correct. I just brought it to their attention.
But it wasn't true. Why would you bring it to their attention?
It was true that it was being spoken about on Reddit.
Where
my
does
God.
that come out in the text?
The
message?
lawyer-
Can you just show me
I'm
where?
gonna say the lawyer is trying so hard for this like TV epic moment of ponage.
Yeah,
It's so fucking cringe, man.
it is.
text messages you say that.
On the next page.
Okay.
Go back to page 9. My wife found it online. Apollo Legends dead, no joke. When you go down further, it says...
He's having to read the transcript back to the lawyer. Like, so you'll actually see here, Solicitor Reed, that on page 9 it actually said this, pal.
Says I'm looking on Reddit.
I think I heard the lawyer go, oh, damn. Like, like when he goes, go back to page 9, the lawyer audibly went, oh.
It's like Gil in The Sims. Right.
Oh,
They got old
no,
Gil again.
no.
Oh, geez. Oh, no.
I said the only place I remember she mentioned was reddit.com, which is a red flag.
You're
for
hearing in
something
the
not being
court,
true.
Reddit.com. This is so fucking retarded, man. Like, these lawsuits are so fucking stupid.
They are.
Say that.
If it said ABC News, I would have had a different attitude.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Rightio.
yeah.
But I shouldn't.
That
have made
makes
it
sense.
Commenting.
Yes, it does
No,
actually.
you know, there's lawyers that, oh, right, yeah, oh, yeah, it's like sarcastic. And it's like, no, there is a difference between something coming from Reddit and something coming from ABC News. Okay, like there is.
Anyway, it was dark humor, and
Of course, in
Very
reality, we all know
appropriate
ABC is a garbage fucking source. And it's probably worth less than the Reddit opinion, to be honest.
And look, Billy Mitchell is immature enough. He's mature enough right now to apologize.
Yeah. We got FELTED DGen
so-
for a sub.
Yeah.
Then when
Thank
he
you.
starts
Thank you, Felt the D-Gen. Sorry.
looking online for other verifications of the death, If you turn then to page 10,
Oh my God.
you say, I certainly hope you find something solid. Meaning,
Look, here's the bottom line, lawyer and Carl. Maybe Billy was giddy at the fact of someone who was hating on him constantly dying. Is it in bad taste? Sure. But that's not illegal to be like, yes, I hope he's dead. Okay?
I hope.
Look, guys, he's a bad person. Okay, well, you all want Billy dead. How about that?
You find something on ABC, for example, confirming that he was actually dead.
No.
That's not what you mean by that.
No.
That's your evidence.
Should I read the whole text or would you like to read it?
Then you say, oops.
Yeah.
Was I not supposed to say that?
Correct. Dark humor that I regret tremendously to this day.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh
And then
no.
you say
I mean,
that you're
oops,
going
that's an indication. Oops. And I regret it. I don't know what to say.
no, H went up, not in
I
Australia.
regret it. I sincerely regret it. Especially because it became true 3 years later.
This entire act was all bullshit, however, because as soon as our
In your
trial
opinion.
ended, Billy went right back to his favorite pastime of masturbating to the thought of dead YouTubers who have made videos critical.
Billy's
Okay.
gonna sue you for that.
Buddy, are you fucking stupid, Carl? What are you doing, man?
Billy's gonna sue you.
You can't say that, Carl.
Clearly, Apollo Legend's death didn't quite satisfy Billy's sick fetish, and it even
No, you
appears
can't
as though Billy
say-
has upgraded.
Oh my god.
So we're going right back into the stuff that got you in trouble. So he's really cocky. Like, he really thinks he's got this. And even if he does get sued and loses again, he believes that he can just declare bankruptcy again and again and again. And it's like an infinite bankruptcy that protects him from any sort of judgment.
The sequel so soon? Holy shit.
Because now it wouldn't be enough for me to just kill myself like Apollo Legend. In Billy's depraved fantasy, he gets to be the one who holds the rope.
I don't think
Well,
Billy
well,
drew
like,
this. First of all.
Carl, like, this illustration is not your get out of jail free card, bud. Like,
This-
in Carl's mind, he's like, that's a heckin' Pepe Reno meme from 4chan. It's a Nazi dog whistle. This means that Billy actually owes me all of his money because he's a Nazi. But that's not actually how real life works, Carl.
Billy has got to be one of the dumbest people alive. When Billy sued me,
Pardon?
No. How is he one of the dumbest? He beat you in court. You are one of the dumbest people alive for not just fucking moving on and instead deciding that you are going to keep fighting this forever. And this is what this video is a declaration that this will never end, that he will never stop targeting Mr. Mitchell, that he will always defame Mr. Mitchell, and that he believes there are no consequences for his actions whatsoever. That's what this is.
It is.
had basically nothing. My net worth was essentially zero. I had a tiny amount of equity in my townhouse, but I was also in debt and I had just started a family. Billy spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars suing someone who had no money and who had to crowdfund their defense.
Bro, you're broke for the rest of your life.
Straight up.
Shut the
like,
f up.
You lost. You had to declare bankruptcy. Your reputation is in fucking tatters. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're losing subs still to this day. Dude, shut the f up.
He rejected my attempts to settle. He made no attempt to settle or negotiate himself whatsoever. He rejected my offer to avoid bankruptcy, and now he is upset he lost all of his money. What a moron. And I think I know why Billy
He's the... Oh my.
is especially upset. And it's because the truth is that Billy Mitchell is not a rich man. As part of my due diligence, I conducted a search
Here
of all
we
of
go.
Billy's assets. Just
So
like
now we're going through Billy's assets, and you better hope, by the way, Carl, that everything you say here is correct, bro. He's lost his mind.
He's like, all right, Billy's actually poor. The guy who sued 6 people Probably spent about $5 million in lawsuits. He's the poor guy. Yeah.
Billy should have done before he sued me. This is so I knew what he owned in the event I won the lawsuit, and he owed me money. And what I found interesting is that when I conducted a search on Billy's house, I found out that
I don't think it's the discovery. I think it's what he searched before, I guess.
His name. It was completely in the name of his wife. Naturally, the first thought I had was that maybe Billy had moved this asset out of his name in preparation for losing the lawsuit.
Okay.
So I found the
so
property
is he
deed
actually now going to throw the stones in the glass house? We're saying it's bad for Billy to have stuff in his wife's name. Will he just move stuff to his wife's name?
Yes.
Is that really what we're doing here? Okay.
I think.
Transfer, which showed in the year 2000, the property had been transferred solely into Billy's wife's name from a third party when she bought it. Except it wasn't bought by Billy's wife. Or at least, she wasn't his wife at the time. She didn't carry Billy's name, and the deed said she was
your wife?
Your wife is Wong.
Like your wife's name is Wong there, Mr. JOBST. So it's like, what are the f*** are you talking about?
Buddy. And she was Miss Wong, not Mrs.
Oh my
single
God.
woman. This didn't make sense to me, because Billy claims he has been married since 1996.
Yeah, 25 years ago, by the way. 25 years.
And you've been married for a long time. How many years have you been married?
Oh, since 96.
96. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I've already had 2 divorces, and that's
so. Even if he lied about the year he got married, who cares?
Oh, look, he lied again. Who gives a fuck, bro?
Marriage is a.
By the way, this guy was married. There's hope, bros.
Yeah, there really is.
There's hope, bros. Don't worry if you're out there.
Wonderful and difficult thing.
Well, you've achieved something I haven't achieved. Look at it that way.
All right.
And Billy would tell stories about how he's been married since the 90s.
I won't lie to you. It was 1999. My son was...
Wait, he's on Jericho?
Whoa. Talk is Jericho.
A year and a half old. And my daughter was 2 years old. Or 2.5 years old, rather. And I had the opportunity to go to Japan. And I was so paranoid as I approached my wife to tell her about this opportunity. But she married this guy who's going to run off and play video games in Japan.
None of this was adding up, and I wanted to know what was going on. So I searched through public records.
Wait. You discovering what marriage date specifically will not change the fact that your life is in shambles forever. It's gonna
show that Billy wasn't married to his wife in 1996.
Who cares?
Instead, they were married in 2003. So if Billy was married in 2003,
why
would he lie and say that?
Who cares? Who cares? No one cares, you fucking idiot. This isn't going to do anything. It's going to change nobody's opinion of Billy Mitchell at all. All you're doing is opening yourself up to further litigation, you fucking idiot.
This is actually crazy.
He was married in 96. Well, it's because when he started having children with his current wife, he was married to another woman. Billy first got married in 1990.
Okay.
Okay.
So he had 2 wives.
Okay.
So he didn't lie.
Then,
was married in the 90s.
He started a family with a woman who wasn't his wife. On the 13th of March 2003, Billy appeared in Season 4's 7th episode of the MTV series True Life, I'm a Gamer. In that episode, it shows Billy with his supposed wife, Evelyn. The interesting thing about this is that Evelyn wasn't his wife, as Billy was still married to someone else. However,
they're in the middle of a breakup and he's with someone new.
But it takes a long time sometimes to finalize divorce papers. One party doesn't want to do it. There's negotiations. But he's with another woman that he intends to marry and did marry. And for all intents and purposes, this is his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what the f*** are we talking about, Carl?
Called separation, by the way, when you're still married, but you're in the process of divorcing. So
I guess Billy figured that if he was going to publicly lie about who he was married to, he may as well make it official.
I gotta ask, how does this benefit the public interest whatsoever to go through this guy's personal fucking marital records? Like, this is his personal life. It's between him and his women. It doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever beyond attempting to embarrass this man and his wife. Like, that's it. That's all that this is.
It's literally just saying, look, guys, he lied about something. It's like, I wouldn't even say Billy lied about this, by the way. He just like didn't like expose his entire divorce proceedings to the world.
But now, so if I was to do a whole segment on Karl's wife, like, would he like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, he's supposed to be about, like, this is like the low levels of like the sector standards.
It's
you
like
know
Ralph,
what I'm saying?
Ralph tier.
Yeah, it's Ralph tier shit, man.
No.
After this episode aired, Billy filed for divorce. And when his divorce was finalized in late September of 2003, the very next week, he applied to marry his mistress of many years. So that's why Billy lies about his marriage, because the truth is that he had his children out of wedlock to a mistress, and that just doesn't sound quite as wholesome.
But, Karl, you better fucking hope that all of that's true. Like, you better... but it's not a fucking crime. There's plenty of people who had their fucking kids out of wedlock or in messy fucking situations.
No one's perfect. Billy is not Saint Billy. He's a man like you and me.
I don't know. Like I think it's literal slander. Like his children are birds that were born out of wedlock, and like you better hope that that's fucking true, man. If it's not true, you're.
And saying mistress is implying that he cheated on his wife with this woman and like while they were married and stuff. So if it's not a mistress.
No, but the situation, he doesn't know that for sure because
it's a new girlfriend.
It could be, listen, their marriage cooled off, but for whatever reason, for financial reasons or whatever, they stayed married on paper, but he was with another woman with the eventual belief that they would get married when the time was right to resolve the first marriage legally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's really none of Karl's fucking business, and it's none of the public's business really either, to tell you the truth.
Nor does it pertain to this situation at all. At all.
This doesn't have anything to do with
I've already had 2 divorces, and that's... marriage is a wonderful and difficult thing.
Well, you've achieved something I haven't achieved. Look at it that way.
Okay, so Billy lied about being divorced. He didn't want to say it. He's ashamed of it.
Yeah.
So what?
Oh no.
Oh no.
What about Billy's
He's a human. Yeah.
Sauce company? Wasn't that a booming success? After Billy supposedly achieved the first perfect Pac-Man in 1999.
By the way, also, you could even say he wasn't lying there. You could say Billy meant that I didn't have 2 divorces. I only had 2.
Yeah, which did Karl prove a second divorce?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't.
He went on a press tour where he gloated about being a hot sauce tycoon that was running a $5 million a year business. According to Billy, the hot sauce company was something he developed, and he still claims he invented.
Is it wrong to like, I don't know, like it might be, I guess, unethical, but it's not a crime to over exaggerate whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say. This is ridiculous.
Entered the hot sauce to this very day.
He only had $4 million.
He created the hot sauce, or the company that sells it, seems to be something he fabricated himself. Billy's hot sauce company was formed in 1988 by Billy's parents. And according to news outlets at the time, the hot sauce was developed by Billy's mother, Barbara. And this was always the case
I don't think anyone assumed Billy made this up. Yeah, I did.
Now he's going after his family business and stuff. But, you know, Karl, this is how you got into this situation in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And now you're going even further in on it. And it just does not seem wise.
Speaking of the sauces, I have mine right up here.
1999, when Billy decided to start taking credit for his mother's work. According to company filings,
Let me
Billy
read this.
didn't even
Let me read this.
decided to start taking credit.
Age 20, I took a good look at myself and you couldn't play forever. Said Mitchell, who graduated from When I started the hot sauce business, I had the idea that I could be as good at that as I was at the game.
So
He's not saying he made the sauce. He used the recipe, but made the business. Isn't that what he's saying?
I mean, let's be real. This guy sold more bottles of the hot sauce and is responsible for selling more bottles of the hot sauce than his parents could ever have imagined selling.
Exactly.
What are we talking about here? And this is crazy.
He's not saying that he made the sauce in this quote. He shows the quote for 1 millisecond. You see that?
For his mother's work. According to company filings, Billy didn't even take over running the company until 2003, and by this time the company hadn't done business in 3 years.
But Karl, just because it says something on paper, which you should know based on the rigmarole that you just did with your wife, just because it says something on paper doesn't mean that the reality and what's going on in practice is very different.
Yeah.
You really don't think Billy had any part in running the hot sauce company until 2003? That for nearly 20 years, he had nothing to do with it as he was selling the sauce? Come on. Shut the fuck
Ashton,
up.
he only did the exact day that he bought the business.
You know, he wasn't.
He didn't help out at all until the day.
His parents wanted to retire, and they transferred it over to him in 2003, like nearly 20 fucking years ago. You know, but he never had anything to do with it before that. Sure, okay, Karl, sure.
So if the company was doing $5 million a year in 1999, why did operations suddenly cease just a year later? And I suppose an even more pressing question is that if Billy really was a successful hot sauce tycoon running a multi-million-dollar a year business and a devoted family man, why is it that in the year 2000, the mother of his children needed to take out a $100,000 mortgage solely in her name just to buy their family home, the home that Billy lives in? And money was apparently so tight that in 2001, she filed for bankruptcy. Meanwhile, at the very
you filed for bankruptcy, you
talking about his mom?
Bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is crazy, dude. This is like top to bottom smearing the guy's entire family because of an issue that you started. You started this fight with Mr. Mitchell. He took you to court and finished it. And now you're bitterly seething in the slimiest fashion possible. Going after 20-year-old dirty laundry and court talk.
He's like, look, his mom was bankrupt. Sir, you're bankrupt last week. Stop it.
Same time, Billy was out there trying to publicly brag about how rich he was by offering $100,000 to anyone who could get past the Pac-Man split screen. So either Billy did have $100,000 and decided it was more important to him to give it to a random person who could beat a video game rather than buy a house for his family, or maybe, just maybe...
You don't know the dynamics of his family at that time.
Yeah.
You really don't know. Like, families have periods where there might be a falling out in the family for a number of years and then they reconcile or what. You don't know what the circumstances were. So just shut the fuck up.
Or maybe his mom went bankrupt for other reasons.
Yeah.
You don't know how much debt she probably had if she did have it. I mean, you know, allegedly. Course.
Billy is a con artist who lies about his success, just like
is Karl's mother now fair game? His father, his siblings, like where does it end? Like, I'm serious, like where does it actually end? I think that these guys should actually just be allowed to have a duel with pistols. Like, this is what it was meant for, right? Where you have two people, they have like an irreconcilable dispute. They should just settle it with pistols at dawn and one of them goes 6 feet under at this point.
Buddy, Billy's pissed over on Twitter.
No shit, he's fucking pissed.
Whoa, buddy.
Or maybe, just maybe.
I just replied with felt him, Billy, all in quotes.
Billy is a con artist who lies about his success, just like everything else. But
Buddy,
anyway, back to Billy's wife's house.
He's a con artist that lies about his success. Like, bro, you're gonna have to back all of this up in court.
Bragg's a con artist, but did Billy not beat Pac-Man? Was he not awarded the Namco?
Well,
whatever.
That's what he tries to say, is that he never actually had a perfect Pac-Man score, and that Namco plaque, you can't read what's actually on it, so therefore it doesn't.
No, he did win the score, but then remember he said that there was a second plaque that said greatest gamer in the universe or something.
I think people are right in chat. This is him baiting a lawsuit. He wants to get sued again so he can get the redemption. That's what it is, right?
Yes.
But he's basically of the belief that he can probably just. I don't know. I guess he believes it doesn't matter what the courts do because he believes he got away with it.
Well, apparently it doesn't matter.
I guess not.
You could just bankrupt yourself. And
in late August of 2021, Billy and his wife mortgaged his wife's home. This timing is interesting because just a few weeks later, Billy would file his lawsuit against me. So it's rather curious that right before Billy knew he was about to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in a legal.
Do you think that?
So now oh my God. So now he's accusing Billy Mitchell of hiding assets when that's essentially what KARL did. Like, come on.
This is the craziest video, bro.
Battle, he mortgaged his wife's house. This doesn't seem like the actions of a man with a lot of money. And when Billy was required to put up security during our lawsuit...
Oh, no. So what he's saying is, he goes, look, Billy's broke. He had to mortgage his house to sue me with the equity money. Like,
that's where the money came from. Not from Billy, but from Billy's wife. Again, this doesn't...
Oh my God.
Why do you have to bring, like... did Billy Mitchell bring KARL's wife into this stuff?
Well, apparently now we can see the first letters of his wife's name here and middle name.
Seem like the actions of a man with
I
a
gotta
lot
say,
of money.
like, but he sues a lot of people, which are the actions of a man with a lot of money. Is it not?
Yeah. Bro, is he crazy? I didn't.
This would explain why Billy is now so upset that he is fantasizing about killing me.
No, he's not upset. He's gloating at your failure, at your loss.
Yeah.
The adage goes, a happy wife means a happy life. And given that Billy appears to have lost so much of his wife's money, I can't imagine the hell he is going through right now. But let's look.
What?
Is he, though, going through hell?
Or are you going through hell because you've lost everything?
How does this go on for another hour and 8 minutes?
On the bright side, at least now me and Billy have something in common. In fact, I would even consider us kindred spirits.
Did you hear that? Gosh, what he's saying is that his wife is pissed, is like screwing around with it, is angry at him.
You know, his wife's fucking pissed at him. But it's like, why are you doing this? Just let it go, brother.
This self-help, bro.
In the hell he is going through right now. But let's look on the bright side. At least now me and Billy have something in common. In fact, I would even consider us kindred spirits. Billy and I share a special bond. We both live in houses entirely owned by our wives.
The self-felt.
Like, it's this kamikaze felt, like, at best. It's really a self-felt, because I really don't believe Billy's broke. Like, I just don't believe that.
Recently, Billy put out a video titled, A Statement from Billy Mitchell, KARL JOBST. In the video, Billy discusses various things. Of course, it's full of lies as per usual, but he spends a good amount of time discussing my GoFundMe, and what he says in the video is very interesting. It's incredibly dishonest, but I'm actually glad he came out with this video because it gives me the perfect opportunity to let the public know details that have never been made public before.
By the time Mr. Jobs had lost his financial backing from Notch, Notch's money was exhausted, he had failed to dismiss the case, he needed money, and he needed money now. But he knew his viewers may not open wallets if he was transparent about the true subject of the lawsuit.
Well, hold on.
But
KARL has admitted that he wasn't transparent about the true subject of the lawsuit.
No.
Which is the real...
He's going in a whole other direction here. You'll see.
He does. On November 4th, 2022, he reaches back 6 months to May of 2022, pulls out an old legal correspondent that never received follow-up, and he creates a GoFundMe campaign on the premise that he urgently needs financial support.
Okay, so what Billy's saying is he needed more financial support, aka Karl needed more financial support because of an upcoming lawsuit. Okay,
right.
So remember that
potential second lawsuit. Karl, I do not accept the fact that you generally woke up 6 months after the last correspondence and also after your financial support ran out from Notch, and you suddenly felt the need to crowdfund for a potential second lawsuit. You obviously knew the second lawsuit was not coming. Or at the very least, you were unsure if it ever was.
So Billy is accusing Karl of raising money while knowing that there was no lawsuit coming, or at least having doubt that it would come.
The ultimate reality is he needed money for the first lawsuit, irrespective of whether there was a second lawsuit anyway.
Yes.
It doesn't even fucking matter.
Yes.
Billy seems to be claiming that I knew Billy was never going to file any further lawsuits after his original complaint, and that it was all just a scheme to raise money under false pretenses. The way Billy talks about things always seems to make sense upon first glance. That's what makes Billy such a great con artist. If you have no context or any knowledge on the topic he is discussing...
Should you call him a con artist constantly?
I mean, I guess he is.
I mean,
I guess he is a confidence artist. Like, I don't know.
Believe what he says. But when you break the things he says down piece by piece and examine them in greater detail, you will always find that he is completely full of shit. So let's go through Billy's statements and break them down piece by piece.
On May 10th, 2022, Mr. Jobs published a video about me that led my lawyers to send a concern notice to his lawyers. On May 22nd, 2022, Mr. Jobs and I were scheduled for mandatory mediation in the already existing lawsuit, one and only lawsuit.
Yeah.
Before the mediation, my lawyers emailed his lawyers a copy of a legal complaint related to the concerns notice, and my lawyers said that I would proceed with the complaint unless the current lawsuit resolved at the mediation.
This is truly amazing. Billy is admitting that his lawyer sent me a second complaint for a new lawsuit, and is admitting that his lawyer advised my lawyers that it would be filed if the existing lawsuit did not resolve, which obviously it did not.
Yeah.
So far,
can we
this
set
is
up?
true.
Can they have an influencer boxing match?
You know,
like, I don't know, but Billy's like 60 years old. You know what I'm saying?
How about golf?
You know, some
influencer golf match.
This has to be exploited somehow in some way. Like, this is ridiculous.
Can we make it golf from now on?
By the way, we got nonsense for a sub. Let's go.
Let's go.
But what's astonishing?
Checkers. Let's do something more chill.
Is that for the past 2 years, Billy has been saying that the second complaint never existed at all. And I was lying about the entire thing.
Donkey Kong High Store in person. See if you can beat him at Donkey Kong, Pac-Man. Like, have them play 10 arcade games.
No.
And see.
Here's what they do. DK and GoldenEye. Because Karl's good at GoldenEye and Billy's good at DK.
Public rant.
Well, we got nonsense for another sub as well.
Let's go. Big support. Thank you.
Said that I was lying about the second complaint and that there was only ever one complaint.
But then
is he? I gotta be real. Does he really expect people to follow all of this bullshit? Like, it's just so pedantic and semantic, and this really isn't what the heart of this matter is.
Yeah.
This is a whole bunch of irrelevant. He did like a whole smear campaign against Billy, his business, and his family. And now it's like, well, it was okay for me to conceal the purpose of the lawsuit because Billy was talking about another lawsuit. Like, no, shut the fuck up.
I won't lie. The first 30 minutes of this video, I had trimmed down to about 15 for our edit. This whole part I deleted because it's so semantical.
And you say he's suing me again. He puts up nothing, no proof, anything that he's being sued again. Nothing. There is one complaint in there.
Yeah.
And that's the original complaint.
Now he finally admits there was indeed a second complaint that was sent to us, and we were advised that it would be filed if the first lawsuit didn't resolve. I am very happy that Billy is finally—
maybe raise the money after the lawsuit is filed and don't hope. Like,
Oh my God.
No.
willing to admit this.
Ridiculous.
The current lawsuit did not resolve, but I chose not to begin a second lawsuit, even though my lawyers felt that the second claim was meritorious. No further developments occurred after May 22nd relating to that concerns notice and the complaint emailed to Mr. Jobs' lawyer. The complaint was not filed. The complaint was not served. My lawyers did not email Mr. Jobs' lawyers after the mediation to request that he accepted service.
Carl's defense here is, well, I thought it would be served. So I raised the money.
But shouldn't you start raising the money after you know it's a real thing, and then you're not raising money under false pretenses?
Yeah.
Well, we know that it's all bullshit anyway because he lied about, and he's admitted that he lied about the original purpose for the fundraiser by not listing what the lawsuit was actually about. So this is all irrelevant anyway. It's all bullshit.
Of a second lawsuit. It was complete silence.
This is also true. After Billy's lawyer advised us he had instructions to file the second lawsuit, we didn't hear anything further. Billy apparently
you raised money for it.
But did you refund the money when the second lawsuit never came?
No.
No, you didn't. So it's unethical.
Changed his mind at some point, though he didn't tell me or my legal team. Billy had his lawyer send us a second complaint and instructed his lawyer to tell us that he had instructions to file the second complaint and begin a second lawsuit, and then changed his mind but didn't tell us. That is effectively what Billy is saying.
And as I showed earlier—
So then cancel the GoFundMe, you fucking retard.
This time,
it just
May
makes it
22nd.
worse. Like every single thing that he's bringing up is making it worse for him. It really, really is.
2022, the funds that Mr. Notch gave to Mr. Jobs.
By the way,
dry.
we've got Anonymous for $10. He says, Jesus, did Billy Carl's wife or something? Why does he have such a hate boner towards Billy? It's obsessive. I don't really know, right? Like, he allegedly cheated at video games, and he is a pathological liar and a narcissist. But that's, I don't know, like, it's not enough. This would be like me torpedoing my life over Phil. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like,
or like Ralph or something.
You know, like I'm gonna go to court over fucking Phil Burnell. It's like, no, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wouldn't do it. It's just stupid.
This is also true. Notch stopped funding my legal fees in early 2022.
In July of 2022,
yeah, Karl caught his wife eating Billy's hot sauce. Got mad.
Jobs submitted an application to the court of what effectively amounted as a Hail Mary attempt.
Here's where it's all
to dismiss the
semantics.
lawsuit. That didn't pan out for him.
This is such a ridiculous lie that I'm shocked even Billy Mitchell would say something this stupid. But I guess all of these years later he can still impress me. Billy shows a document on screen and claims that I submitted an application attempting to dismiss the lawsuit. What he's showing on screen is an order from the judge. Let's take that same document and scroll it down slightly to see what it says. It says the plaintiff, aka Billy, will further provide security for the defendant's costs of the proceeding in the amount of $15,000. So what is Billy going on about? This has nothing to do with dismissing the case. In July 2022, we submitted an application to require Billy to put down more money as security in the event he loses the lawsuit. Billy is not an Australian citizen, and as such, recovery of any money would be more difficult. So we made the court require him to put up extra money as bond because he refused. And
but he's broke? He's poor, though. But he's putting up these big bonds, but he's broke. Okay.
Judge agreed with us and forced him to pay an extra $15,000. What does this have to do with dismissing the lawsuit? It has nothing to do with dismissing the lawsuit. Billy just puts this random order on screen, cuts off the bottom right where it shows what the order is about, and claims I made an application to dismiss the lawsuit. It's just a huge lie.
By the time Mr. Jobs had lost his financial backing from Notch's money was exhausted, he had failed to dismiss the case,
is it a lie?
And he needed money now. But he knew his viewers may not open wallets if he was transparent about the true subject of the lawsuit.
Yes.
Here's what he does.
KARL said that at the beginning of the video.
2022, he reaches back 6 months to May of 2022, pulls out an old legal correspondent that never received follow-up, and he creates a GoFundMe campaign on the premise that he urgently needs financial support for a potential second lawsuit. KARL, I do not accept the fact that you generally woke up 6 months after the last correspondence.
I gotta say,
and also after your financial.
Like, imagine, like, every day for the rest of KARL Jobs' life, he has to think about Billy. He has to talk about Billy. He has to seethe about Billy. Like, is it worth it?
Financial support ran out from Notch, and you suddenly felt the need to crowdfund for a potential second lawsuit. You obviously knew the second lawsuit was not coming.
According to Billy,
okay, I haven't heard this part. According to him, I knew it wasn't going to come, but that's not true. Watch.
If you do not file a lawsuit within 6 months, it means you aren't going to file it ever. But let's take a look at Billy's history of lawsuits.
But let's look at how he did do that. So I did think it was real, and then therefore I do need money that I. Come on.
Does actually file them. In Florida, the statute of limitations is 2 years for filing a defamation lawsuit. Apollo Legend made his video in February 2018. Billy Mitchell.
But he's not suing you in Florida. He sued you in Australia. I don't.
Mitchell sued him exactly.
I think he's talking about his other lawsuits with like other people.
2 years later, in February 2020, Jeremy Young exposed Billy's cheating by using MAME in February of 2018, and Billy sued him alongside Jeff Harris and Donkey Kong Forum exactly 2 years later in February 2020. Twin Galaxies banned Billy in April of 2018, and Billy sued them in Florida exactly 2 years later in April 2020. In California, the statute of limitations is only 1 year. So in California, Billy sued Twin Galaxies exactly 1 year later in April of 2019. In almost every single defamation lawsuit Billy has ever filed, it was right before the statute of limitations expired. In fact, the fastest lawsuit Billy ever filed was his original lawsuit against me. But even then, that was 4 months later, not immediately. The statute of limitations in my state is 1 year, and he has that entire.
You still raised the money before it was filed. That's the point.
Here to file. This notion that if you don't file something immediately, it means you aren't going to file it at all is just fucking stupid. But here,
and you raising money without it being filed is just fucking stupid.
I really find this whole thing really fucking retarded and pedantic. Like I really do. I just feel like
Are you done?
Of this. We're getting pretty close.
I'm getting pretty close to being. I've watched a lot of this meanders now into like. Chat, what do you think? What do you
guys think? Do you want to go another half hour on this, or do you want to just call it, guys? Because I think it's kind of yeah, I think it's kind of, I know some people are saying it's incredible. Some people are saying it's boring.
Call it, keep going, call it, half hour, keep going. Let's just do 5 more minutes and then we'll see how we feel.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Is where you can tell Billy is truly evil. Billy just sits there and nonchalantly describes how he had his lawyer create a second complaint and then sent that to my lawyers and told us he would be suing us again as if it's no big deal. I mean, it's just a little second lawsuit. What's the big fuss about?
Fucking shut the fuck up.
Promise you, you cannot appreciate how stressful a lawsuit is until you are sued. I could try to convey it in words what it's like, but it would never do it justice. It's one of the worst things you could ever go through, and it lasts for years.
But I gotta ask, then why are you trying to invite another one into your life? And why aren't you just moving on from this situation, happy in the knowledge of what you're saying, that it could have been a lot worse, and in 3 years, everything's going to be okay, and just move on with your life rather than relitigate this and maybe get into another legal battle, right? I just don't understand that.
Door Observer for a sub. Let's go, Door Observer. Thank you for that support.
Cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just ask anyone who's ever been sued. Now, what you really couldn't imagine is going through an existing lawsuit and then being told you're going to be sued again. And this wasn't just an idle threat. This was Billy's lawyer sending us the physical complaint and saying that he had instructions to file it. It was literally the most stressful thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Billy sits there and doesn't even realize that by him explaining that he sent a second lawsuit and told us that it would be filed and then changed his mind at some point and decided not to tell me and my family is one of the most disgusting and pure evil things he has ever done.
Oh,
it was an outright
me a river, you fucking
But what this guy after Billy so fucking hard, and
yeah,
it's still
for years. Like,
it's okay to like apparently do everything to Billy in your power to ruin him, but then when he fights back, it's not okay.
He scared me with a second lawsuit. That's evil. Can you believe it? Even though I went after him for about 8 years worth of fucking videos. Allegedly, I'm saying allegedly a lot, but
of the legal
a lot of lawsuits happen,
and it was done just to cause as much psychological.
This is what I was editing out of the video, and I was telling you, it was like a lot of it just meanders.
Damage as possible. Well, congratulations.
Let's do a little skipperoo. Let's do a little skipperoo.
All right, let's go ahead.
Let's go here.
Basis of our client's recent publication and misstates the words used by him. Our client does not say a second defamation proceeding has anyone else on the planet that he wasn't going to sue me. We had to wait another 6 months until the statute of limitations expired. This was always known. And he claims that I said he filed a second and third lawsuit.
20 minutes on this one fucking point?
Oh my God, man, have mercy.
Anyone. It is because of Notch and because of the GoFundMe donors that I was able to stand up to Billy like I did. I didn't do things cheaply. I did as much as I could. I spent $150,000 of my own money as well, on top of the money I received.
Games, not Apollo Legend.
This is entirely false. You see, in my video, I shortened the clip for brevity's sake, but let's listen to what was said immediately beforehand.
Are there any alternative stressors that you've had in your life that are affecting you now?
Just this? And what is the result of this?
Oh, and the other lawsuits, so right?
Oh, you mean like things that resulted from this, like KARL Jobs and David Race? Yes. Very much.
They're also causing you emotional distress?
Well, they're not making me happy.
No, I'm asking you though, did the actions that KARL Jobst and David Race and Jeremy Young and Jeff Harris take also cause you emotional distress?
That is minimal compared to this.
Why?
Where is the
where it all began?
Where is the part about Billy's height? We got to get that part. Let's see if we can find that part. Where he's like talking about him standing on the paint can or whatever. Let's see if we can find this.
Well, Billy
They're saying it's at an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes. Yes, here we go. Bring it right back. Right about here.
Of money running a trial where even if he won, there was no benefit. Twin Galaxies was the defendant. They never wanted the lawsuit to begin with. It was Billy pushing everything forward. Remember, Billy won against me and still lost $500,000. Going to trial will almost always result in both parties losing a ton of money. And besides, Billy claimed that my lawsuit had nothing to do with video games.
Karl Jobst has nothing to do with video games. He's being sued because he's blaming the death of an individual, Apollo legend, on me.
So for him to now assert that I had the opportunity to prove that he cheated in court is extremely stupid. The defendant can only argue the case that is presented against them. I can't just randomly insert whatever topic I want to argue in court. We talked about cheating in my...
Wait, you did though. That's a fucking bold-faced lie.
Man.
You brought up the cheating in court even though it was about Apollo legend. What are you talking about?
Lawsuit in regards to Billy's reputation, not the cheating itself. We had to...
Oh, his reputation, but that was based on the cheating, you fucking lie. He's such a scumbag.
Show that his reputation was bad because he cheated. We didn't have to prove that he actually cheated. So what he is asserting here makes absolutely no sense.
And regardless, Twin Galaxies. What kind of defendant spends hundreds of thousands of dollars?
I just can't
even
possibly.
over $1 million,
What's
according to
amazing,
his
guys
lawyer.
Both fucking blew hundreds of thousands of dollars on this retarded pissing match. They both look retarded.
No one should have lost any fucking money on this at all. Is
Litigating a case for 4 years.
I mean, it's funny
to settle 3 months before trial. A defendant that expects to lose.
What kind of plaintiff spends 3 years and $500,000 suing someone over a statement that was immediately removed and retracted?
Oh my God.
On May 5th, 2025, at 3:02 a.m., Mr. Jobs wrote on Discord. There are 2 videos that need to be made.
all right,
One talking about...
Let's
stop
it,
this. I'm fucking dying.
Guys.
Fun episode. Ashton, wasn't I not right to show this after the DSP stuff?